This is Joe Pugh for IFLTV on Zoom on this Sunday afternoon. Gareth A. Davies, where to start in a week of boxing in its most natural, Wild West, dramatic form. Gareth, how are you, mate?
I'm very good. Let's begin at the beginning, Joe. The
We'll
week has
start at the
been
beginning.
wholesome and newsworthy all week. The deep tectonic plates of the sport shifting the whole time.
Yeah, last time I spoke to you was Saturday morning after the news broke that Benn had signed with Zuffa Boxing, splitting with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. Um, he's got his ring mug there.
I go back 18 years with the ring. I'm still writing for the ring, but
So when you first started for the ring, was it
Oscar was the owner.
Oscar was the owner? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Richard Schaefer was the chief executive of Golden Boy Promotions, and Oscar, you never heard from him. There was no internet then
Mm.
there was no website for the ring, which there is now, run by Versace and all those guys. Well, not Versace, Rick Reno, ex boxing scene, who's now kind of a character in the sport, isn't he?
Who's a bigger
Um,
character, you or Versace Boxing?
I'll leave that to the voters.
That's a good poll, actually. Yeah, comment below. Who's the bigger character in boxing? Yeah. So we
Well,
saw.
if I'm, what am I to him? I've always liked Rick, actually. Rick and I have more to reveal later on, but Rick and I have known each other a very long time, and we spoke a lot when he was getting involved in the job as well. We spoke a lot, um, because at the very beginning of this current era in the sport, I was potentially going over there to be involved in that whole ring setup. Now I just write a piece for the Ring magazine 7 or 8 times a year, big pieces. Just on one on Frank Warren for them, believe it or not, in the February issue.
Okay, that
Um,
would be interesting to read
no,
when
it's,
it
it's
does.
out already. It's out already. I did the interview late last year because there's a lead time of about 6 weeks, and it was all about Frank's love of the heavyweight division, believe it or not. Um,
Okay,
it's very, very convoluted, the sport at the moment, isn't it?
it is. We haven't got long, so let's get into it.
Yeah.
Benn, we had kind of see the backlash from what transpired late last week with Benn, and then the mid part of this week we see him announced on the Ring card on Netflix with Benn versus Regis Prograis. Your thoughts on that fight, first of all, and the fact it's landing on Fury Makhmedov card.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Regis Prograis on my Fight Night show on Talk Sport last night, and he was saying he wasn't allowed to negotiate much from his side, but he had to accept it. It's at £150 catch weight. He's really up for it. He doesn't think Connor's up to fighting him, but of course, Regis was a champion at 10 stone, so he's fighting £10 heavier than he ever was, and he's not faded, but he's over the hill. Connor should win that, but I'm not sure Connor wins against Ryan Garcia. I don't think he does win against Ryan Garcia. Tio Lopez even. I don't think he beats Shakur Stevenson. I don't think he beats Rolly Romero, and I don't think he beats Devin Haney. But he will bring loads to the party, and if he beats one of those guys, and I expect he'll be one of those guys next, if not Ryan Garcia, um, if he deals with Regis Prograis, which I think he will on April the 11th, then quid's in for him. But the irony, of course, this week was that Eddie Hearn got gazumped by Zuffa Boxing signing Conor Benn, and then Zuffa Boxing say no, it wasn't us paying him 15 million, it was Seller paying him the money because they had problems with their UFC fighters. So the as I put it at the moment, Turkey Al Sheikh, in the position he is as a power broker, an influencer in the sport, um, holds 24 of the 32 pieces of the chessboard. So he's playing half the white pieces and all the black pieces on the other side of the board. So everyone else has got 8 pieces. Um, and I'll segue from this. Yeah, I mean, it's great for Conor Benn. I thought the manner in which it's been reported and the manner in which, he divorced him by text, if you like, um, was very was very harsh. Hopefully, I'll have a chance to speak to Conor about it personally myself. But I agree with the fighters got to do the best thing by themselves. Um, Maybe technically in business terms and in contractual terms, Eddie Hearn let it slip and he let friendship values, nothing wrong with this in life. He let friendship be more of a value than business. That's not to say, notwithstanding that one fight deal, and I do think it was a power breaking move, both to place him on that card and to sign him. And it's like I'm the swinging dick around here from the guys on the other side of the pond who are really growing at the moment. But it's notwithstanding that single fight, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me to see Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn work in some capacity going forward in the future. And it looks like the door is open to that. But there's been a lot of chess moves all week, which I'm sure you want to go over.
Yeah, we'll go into the next chess move, as you put it, and the article that was released by the Telegraph on Tuesday, I believe, Tuesday night, Wednesday
Wednesday,
morning,
Wednesday,
Wednesday morning,
yeah, Tuesday night,
Wednesday.
Wednesday morning, correct. In the paper Wednesday morning because I wrote a follow-up piece that you've read
Yeah.
Thursday about the whole war game, if you like.
Um, Obviously, at this point, Gareth, is we don't know too many hard facts, but what's your understanding of what's going on here with Frank Warren and Seller?
Well, you'd think it was from the outside. There's two schools of thought. There's always three rights and three wrongs. There's one view, there's another view, and there's the truth. So Queensberry had that relationship with Seller and Turkey Al Sheikh, but no contract with Turkey Al Sheikh. We must stress, and this has been stressed to me as well by his people, that he never had a contract with Queensberry. It's Seller had the contract with Queensberry. So this is because everything is compartmentalized. Turkey Al Sheikh is Ring Magazine. He owns it personally. Um, uh, Seller owns 60% of Zuffa Boxing. TKO Holdings, the parent company of Zuffa Boxing, own 40% of that. So it's a very conflagrated picture. It's a jigsaw rather than a chessboard, that bit. Um, so, I mean, obviously, I didn't write the story, but obviously, I know Gordon Rayner, the guy that wrote it, the associate editor, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that I had some factual input into the story. Not from the details of what Queensberry are unhappy about, other than what I've read in the story, but just in terms of the outlying facts and history of Turkey Al Sheikh, Salah, Saudi Arabia, and British boxing promoters thus far over 2.5 years, which you probably would have expected in the background because I'm the boxing correspondent. So my work came the day after with that piece, just explaining how the land lies,
Yeah.
which I didn't really quote anyone in it other than explain in 1,500 words or whatever it was where we sit right now. The headline extinction threatened by Dana White towards Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren was very strong. But there is a lot of movement going on in the background, and as the week went on, you could see the plays. Now, obviously, it's straightforward in the piece. There hasn't been a legal case set out yet, but obviously, um, we've realised from I don't know who put the tweet out from Ring Magazine afterwards either. People are making great assumptions about it. about its certain individuals. It could have been anyone who has the power to tweet or ask them to tweet from that account for put out on that X account. But clearly, what's happened is this: boxing doesn't have a world governing body. Turki Al-Sheikh, huge boxing fan with huge amounts of money, and money speaks in boxing, worked his way into boxing, brought Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou together for the Battle of the Baddest, worked in the background, had a plan for boxing, and has worked through his plan, and worked through the plan with the heavyweight division and great events over 2 years, brought Queensberry were there in the beginning, brought Eddie Hearn and Matchroom on board, Matchroom and put his tentacles out and had other dealings with Matchroom. Ben Shalom benefited as well, which he's spoken about this week. My colleague Simon Jordan at TalkSport, kind of seeing ahead in business terms, that perhaps the British promoters might be moved to the side by Turki Al-Sheikh and utilised because of his money and the way the sports run, and that the sanctioning bodies aren't statutory bodies, they're self-appointed. So no one controls them other than the relationships between the sanctioning bodies, the promoters and the fighters. You're with me, you're following this, yeah? So they've been able to be extraordinary power brokers, Seller and Turki Al-Sheikh, to the point where they control the board now. And where we go from here will depend on the relationship of Seller, Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White, how the control structure emanates, how fast they're able to move things, how many big name fighters they sign. I imagine Conor Benn's just the beginning. They threw a bone to DAZN. God, I'm being poetic. They threw a bone to DAZN with the Alexander Usyk fight. I'm understanding that won't be the WBC title now against Rico Verhoeven, that emanating from the WBC, even though I haven't had a chance to speak to him, because that would be a mistake. Belt the Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston and Deontay Wilder and Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson and Tyson Fury have all held. It would be a mistake to let Rico Verhoeven fight for that belt, make a special belt. So we're in this scenario this week where there's been a lot of power broking, a lot of swinging dicks, a lot of control issues, a lot of power moves. Arslanbek Makhmudov and Tyson Fury, Arslanbek Makhmudov is being underwritten by Salah, influenced by Turki Al-Sheikh, run by Zuffa Boxing, Conor Benn on the undercard, being paid extortionately well for it. The announcement of Usyk, he's clearly involved with the Saudi Arabians in some way. It's Salah, it's Riyadh Season, it's Ring, Salah, DAZN. So it's like this, isn't it?
Mm.
It's a jigsaw. But I think it's fascinating. And I think there is a threat to all the promoters in the world. I had Johnny Nelson on TalkSport last night with me for Fight Night, and he was saying, what if Turki Al-Sheikh and the Saudi Arabians decide that they're done with Dana White, which they might do at some point, and they just run it all as the Ring magazine and the Ring belt, because that's the belt everybody looks up to, really, more than any other belt. There's no sanctioning fee. They get 8 weight divisions. They move into an 8 weight division scenario, and Turki Al-Sheikh might say, I'm going to do the 8 Ring magazine ones, and those are going to be the 8 most well-known champions in the world. You don't know what's going to happen. I think it's fascinating. We're in a new era for the sport, and this is our sport. It really is the Wild West, and they are gunslinging at the moment. Does that make sense?
It does, Gareth, and you've tied it in nicely with the Usyk Rico Verhoeven fight. Yeah, just to finish up then, you understand that's not for the WBC title now.
I'm hearing from some of our colleagues today that it's on the poster, because I thought it was a flatulent, if I can use it, a very farty move by that'll get comments. A terrible move by Mauricio to allow Rico Verhoeven to fight for the WBC title. I think he's had one boxing match if I'm
Yeah,
right in
he
thinking.
has
Yeah,
had
he's
one.
had one. I know Rico. I've done columns on him. I've been around him. He voices Ferdinand in the Dutch version of the cartoon about the horse or the donkey. Um, he, uh, he voices him in Dutch. He's a really famous man, a
Okay.
brilliant fighter, and um, he can't fight for the WBC title because if that goes wrong for any reason, we look silly as a sport. You know.
What do you think of the actual fight, though, Gareth?
Well, it'll be dramatic. We'll all be sitting in the pyramids of Giza. You'll love it. You'll be able to say Giza as much as you want. You're from Essex, so you'll be able to say Giza, all right, Giza. We're in the middle of Giza, and you'll be able to say Giza over and over again. What do I think of it? It's a game. It's two big names. It's an historic moment. Um, it's. I think the undercard will probably be good to go with it.
Yeah.
Um, May the 23rd, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got what's on May the 17th.
May the
Anything
17th.
yet?
I believe it's blank so far.
Well, we've got May the 9th, Fabio and Daniel Dubois.
Yeah.
Count backwards. I don't know what we got on May the 2nd right now,
May the
but
2nd, it looks like will be Benavidez versus Zerdo
oh yeah,
Ramirez.
of course, yeah, in Cinco de Mayo in Las Vegas. So work backwards. It's just extraordinary from March the 28th
Mm.
with Moses Itauma and Jermaine Franklin into War, Chisora and the Bronze Bomber to Tyson Fury and Arslanbek Makhmudov with Conor Benn on the undercard. And there is a cracking undercard there as well, anyway, that we can't reveal right now, but we know is made pretty much.
Mm.
And then we go to April the 5th as well. We've got the MVP cards in London as well. That's on Sky. Zuffa Boxing, I understand, are doing a deal with Sky Sports for multiple events this year, as our MVP. So we'll probably get 8 events on Sky this year. There's talk about Top Rank getting involved with ESPN again. What's wrong with boxing?
It's
It's
not broke,
fractured.
mate.
It's fractured. It's a complicated chessboard. There's power broking going all the time. Potentially they're suing each other. People are leaving. Is it traitors or is it faithfuls? But it's it's the Wild West and they're all gunslinging. Simple as that.
Very last one, because I know you got to go. Your thoughts on Mayweather Pacquiao too?
Oh, well, the missing piece of the jigsaw. I was there 11 years ago. It's on Netflix. This is the Netflix chat.
Yeah.
It'll still be big on Netflix.
No,
They
it's going to
relate.
be massive. It's going to be massive.
It's going to be massive, and we're going to be there in the Sphere, September the 19th. Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey's on Netflix. Fury and Arslanbek Makhmudov and Conor Benn are on Netflix. Fury and Joshua, when it happens, will be on Netflix. It's clear. Who's just bought Netflix?
Well, I've heard stories over the last 24 hours that might not be happening now.
Well, it might not be happening, but the power broking
Paramount,
again
Warner
came from
Brothers,
Paramount.
yeah, and look how powerful Netflix. It's even got its own little space on my TV remote.
Just like
Everyone's
the
got.
Ring magazine's got a place on my desk. The Ring magazine mug.
Go on, Gareth. He loves it. The Ring magazine, Netflix, it's all going off. We will catch up. I understand you've got to get on a flight, so I'll let you go, Gareth. Anything else you'd like to add, mate?
Love and peace.
Love and peace as always.